is necessary for your children? Make your children smart and smarter with Digimasters. Join Digimasters. Digimasters! We love Hi.
Hi.
I want juice.
Sure.
Don't buy half juice.
Hey, don't get off knowledge. Better go with Digimasters.
In the first activity, collect some moist soil from the field in a beaker and add water to it. After the soil particles have settled down, observe a drop of water from the beaker under a microscope. You will observe different kinds of microorganisms. In the next activity, you can take a few drops of water from a pond and spread on a glass slide and observe through a microscope. Do you find tiny organisms moving around? Yes, these observations show that water and soil are full of tiny organisms, though not all of them fall into the category of microbes. These microorganisms or microbes are so small in size that they cannot be seen with the unaided eye. Some of these.
Hello students, let's learn about circle. You have already learned circle is nothing but collection of all the points which is at a fixed distance from a fixed point, which is at a constant distance from a fixed point. And the constant distance is called radius and the fixed point is called center of the circle. Now, suppose you have a circle C with center O and radius R, and you have a line L. Then we have three different conditions with the line and the circle. The three different cases we can just see. Suppose the line is and circle you have in plane. Then in the first case you can just take that line is not at all touching or intersecting the circle. Then that line is called, it is not intersecting the circle. The first case, they are far from each other.
Hello everyone, this is Kranti Kumar, Department of Chemistry. I am here to discuss an interesting chapter, that is metals and non-metals. So in the 9th standard, we discussed that the elements are classified metals and non-metals. Okay, so in between we have some more classification, that is non-metals or metalloids. So in the 10th standard, that is classification of periodic elements. So in that also we discussed that elements are classified metals and non-metals. So in between these, some elements are there which shown two properties, that are metallic and non-metallic properties. So these elements are classified as metalloids, which are called as metalloids.
This is I Anusha, presenter for today's lesson, that is heredity and evolution. Understand the terms heredity and evolution. Heredity refers to the genetic heritage which is passed down by our biological parents. It's why we look like them. Our facial features are similar to our parents. More specifically, it is the transmission of traits. Certain traits we get from our parents. These traits are transmitted from one generation to the next generation. And these traits can be physical, such as eye color, a blood type, or even a disease. So a trait may be representing these features, or even behavioral changes. So these traits we get from our parents, whereas the term evolution is a change in the characteristics of the species over several generations and relies on the process of natural selection. So we can say evolution is bringing up certain changes in the species body in the course of certain generations. The theory of evolution is based on the idea that all species are related and gradually they change over time. Every species, they bring up certain changes in them.
My name is Raju. Today I am here to discuss about physics topic light, which is in 10th standard. Reflection. The reflection part by curved surfaces is our next category. Now let us consider one sphere, where a sphere has two curved surfaces like this, which is at the right as well as which is at the left. When you join these two, you have a sphere, total sphere. In this total sphere, when I take the right side part, I just take only the semicircular part, which I say it as a curved surface. This is called curved surface.
Hello students, today we are going to study about the structure of lungs. We have a pair of spongy lungs in the thoracic cavity. Both the lungs are 1.3 kg in weight. These lungs are protected by a bony box called rib cage. The right lung is bigger than that of the left lung. The left lung is slightly smaller, giving space to the heart. Both the lungs are surrounded by a membrane called pleura, and the fluid in between these membranes helps the lungs to be safe from external shocks. Coming to the different organs of respiratory system. Respiratory system consists of different organs like the nostrils, the nose, the nostrils, the nasal cavity, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi, bronchioles and alveoli, and finally the diaphragm. Let us look into the pathway of air. Air usually enters through the nostrils and passes through the nasal cavity. The moist lining of the nasal cavity and the tiny hairs which are present inside filter the air. From the nasal cavity, air enters into the pharynx. The pharynx is a common opening for food and air. Here, there is a small flap-like structure called as epiglottis, which controls the flow of air and food. From the pharynx, air enters into the larynx. The larynx is a stiff box which consists of a pair of vocal cords. These vocal cords vibrate when air enters inside and produce sound.
Hi students, this is Dr. Srinivas, Department of English. Cbse Class 10 English Footprints Without Print, Chapter 9, Bholi by K. Abbas. Bholi, let's see an introduction. Bholi is a story written by K. A. Abbas. The story revolves around a girl who, due to accidental fall and disease in her childhood, faces the problem of being dull and ugly. She is always a target by everyone for not being good looking and intelligent. Her life turns when she joins a nearby school where her teacher encourages her and helps her to become a learned and confident person.
Hi students. The present topic is coordinate geometry. Number one is surface. Number one, surface, level surface. What is meant by level surface? A level surface, it can be your graph sheet, or it can be a wall in your room. It can be a wall in your room. But every surface is not level surface. Take 2 points, say A and B on the surface. Join the surface with the help of a straight line. Join A and B to make a line segment. If every point of the line segment again belongs to same surface, then that surface is called a level surface. This surface is divided into 4 parts. The surface is divided into 4 parts with the help of one horizontal line and one vertical line. Each part is called one quadrant. So, a surface, a level surface is divided into 4 quadrants with the help of one horizontal line called x-axis and a vertical line is called y-axis. And wherever these vertical line and horizontal are meeting, that point is called origin. And all these 4 parts are called quadrants. There exist 4 quadrants. So here we have level surface, we have horizontal line called x-axis, we have vertical line called y-axis, we have origin, point of intersection of these 2. Next, quadrants. Now all these 5 together is called coordinate system. So this is the basic concept of this one, coordinate system.
Hello everyone, this is Kumar, Department of Chemistry. I am here to discuss chemistry first chapter, that is chemical reactions and equations. Okay, so in this at the starting he given 6 daily life situations and asked what happens to that reactions. Okay, so I will give you the reason what happens for those. The first thing, when milk is left at room temperature during summer. So he asked what happens when milk is left at room temperature during the summer. So you may see, when milk is left at room temperature during the summer, the ideal condition gets increase the growth of bacteria called lactobacillus, which converts milk into curd. So here the milk turns sour. So that is the first daily life situation.
Hi friends, today 10th class Cbse new chapter Democracy and Diversity. Overview. In the last chapter we saw how power can be distributed to accommodate linguistic and regional diversities, but language and region are not the only features that give a distinct identity to people. Sometimes people also identify themselves and relate with others on the basis of their physical appearance, class, religion, gender, caste, tribe, etc. In this chapter, we study how democracy responds to social differences, divisions and inequalities. We begin with an example of public expression of social divisions. We then draw some general lessons about how social differences can take various forms.
Hello students, now we learn about agriculture, third topic of geography. So everyone knows that India is known as agricultural country. 2/3 of its population depends on agriculture for their livelihood. And India is a country which produces different kind of crops, like maybe food crops or maybe cash crops or any different types of crops. And even we can say that there are many industries who depends on agriculture for their raw material, which are called as agro-based industries.
Maths, physics, chemistry, biology, English, Hindi, Telugu, artificial intelligence, robotics, all subjects in one
complete syllabus in your pocket. Join Digimasters.